In the spring of 1999, high in the mountains of Kashmir, something was happening that the world did not yet know about. Pakistani soldiers and militants were quietly crossing the line of control. They were moving into the abandoned Indian posts on the peaks of Kargil, posts that Indian soldiers had vacated for the winter, posts that sat more than 15,000 feet above sea level, posts that overlooked National Highway 1, the only road connecting India to its forces in Siachen and Leh. The operation had a name, Operation Badr, and when India finally discovered what had happened, it triggered 88 days of the most dangerous conflict the world had seen since the Cold War. Because both sides had nuclear weapons, and both sides knew it. To understand Kargil, you have to understand what Pakistan was trying to achieve. By 1999, the Kashmir dispute had dragged on for 50 years. Diplomatic channels were exhausted. Two full-scale wars, 1947 and 1965, had not resolved the issue. The Simla Agreement of 1972 had locked both countries into the line of control. But Pakistan's military planners believed there was a window, a narrow, high-altitude window. If Pakistani forces could seize the peaks overlooking the Srinagar-Leh highway, India would be cut off from its forward deployments. The international community would be forced to intervene, and Kashmir would finally be internationalized. The plan was bold. Some would say reckless, and it was approved at the highest levels of Pakistan's military leadership. General Pervez Musharraf, then Chief of Army Staff, was its principal architect. Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif would later claim he was not fully briefed. That dispute between the civilian government and the military would echo through Pakistani politics for decades. But in the winter of 1998 and early 1999, the operation was already moving. Quietly, patiently, under the cover of snow. On the 8th of May, 1999, a shepherd named Tashi Namgyal noticed something strange. Armed men on the peaks above Batalik. He reported it to the Indian Army. Within days, Indian patrols were sent forward. Some did not come back. The scale of the intrusion, when it became clear, stunned Indian commanders. This was not a small border crossing. Pakistani forces had occupied over 130 peaks and posts, spread across a 160-kilometer front. India's military response was immediate and public. Operation Vijay was launched. Indian Army units began massing in the Kargil sector. But the problem was brutal. The enemy held the high ground. Every approach was exposed. Every attack would have to go uphill, against prepared positions, at altitudes where men struggled to breathe. India's generals looked at the map, and then they called in the Air Force. On the 26th of May, 1999, for the first time since the 1971 war, India used its Air Force in combat. MiG-21s and MiG-27s roared over the Kargil peaks. The thin air at high altitude made flying treacherous. On the 27th of May, India lost 2 aircraft. A MiG-27 developed an engine failure. Its pilot, Flight Lieutenant K. Nachiketa, ejected over Pakistani-controlled territory. He was captured. The MiG-21 sent to search for him was shot down. Its pilot, squadron leader Ajay Ahuja, was killed. Pakistan had used a shoulder-fired Stinger missile, the kind that had once been supplied by America to the Afghan Mujahideen. India grounded its aircraft briefly, then adjusted tactics. High-altitude precision strikes replaced low-level close air support. Mirage 2000s were brought in. Laser-guided bombs began hitting Pakistani logistics and supply lines. But the infantry, the men on the ground, knew the truth. The peaks had to be taken by foot, by hand, one ridge at a time.
The battle for Tololing began in late May. Indian infantry of the 2 Rajputana rifles attacked uphill, under fire, through loose rock and thin air. They failed on the first attempt, and the second. On the 13th of June, they took Tololing. The cost was severe. Then came Tiger Hill. At over 16,000 feet, one of the most commanding positions in the entire sector. The battle for Tiger Hill lasted weeks. Grenadier Yogendra Singh Yadav, barely 19 years old, climbed a near-vertical ice face under fire. He took 3 bullets. He kept climbing. He reached the top. He would later receive India's highest military honor, the Param Veer Chakra. Peak by peak, ridge by ridge, the Indian army was clawing back the heights. But on the other side of the line of control, a far more dangerous calculation was beginning. Both India and Pakistan had tested nuclear weapons in May 1998,
just 1 year before Kargil.
The world had watched those tests with alarm. Now, with both countries in open military conflict, the alarm became dread. American intelligence agencies were watching closely. What they saw, and what has since been partially declassified, was deeply disturbing. Pakistan was believed to be moving nuclear-capable missiles, preparing, or at minimum signaling preparation, for a nuclear contingency. Pakistani Foreign Secretary Sartaj Aziz was summoned to Washington. Bruce Riedel, a senior CIA official in the Clinton White House, later wrote in detail about what happened next. American officials confronted Pakistani leadership with intelligence suggesting nuclear assets were being readied. Pakistan denied it, but the message from Washington was unmistakable. This conflict must end now. President Bill Clinton called Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif to Washington. On the 4th of July, American Independence Day, the 2 men met. Sharif was told in unambiguous terms, withdraw Pakistani forces from across the line of control or face complete international isolation. No support from the IMF, no American backing, no diplomatic cover. Sharif had no choice. He agreed to withdraw. But back in Islamabad, General Musharraf had not been consulted. The civilian-military fault line, which had been cracking since the operation began, now split open completely. Pakistani forces began withdrawing in mid-July. Some positions were vacated. Others had already been retaken by Indian forces. By the 26th of July, India declared Kargil cleared. The date is now marked in India as Kargil Vijay Divas, Kargil Victory Day. The human cost was staggering on both sides. India officially lost around 500 soldiers. Pakistan's losses, never officially acknowledged, are estimated significantly higher. For Pakistan, the political consequences were immediate. Nawaz Sharif returned from Washington, having agreed to withdraw without any concessions on Kashmir. He was seen by the military as having surrendered under pressure. 3 months later, in October 1999, General Pervez Musharraf removed Nawaz Sharif in a military coup. Kargil had not resolved Kashmir. It had not internationalized the dispute. It had not changed the line of control. What it had done was bring 2 nuclear-armed nations closer to the edge than the world had realized. Historians and analysts still debate Kargil. Was it a strategic miscalculation or a calculated risk that simply ran out of time?
Did Pakistan underestimate India's military response? Did it overestimate international pressure on India to negotiate? These questions remain contested. But what is not contested is what Kargil revealed about nuclear deterrence in South Asia. The assumption before 1999 was that nuclear weapons would prevent conflict, that the threat of mutual destruction would keep both sides from fighting. Kargil proved that assumption incomplete. Nuclear weapons had not prevented war. They had changed its character, created a ceiling, but also, paradoxically, a floor. A space where limited conventional conflict could exist, shielded, or so the calculation went, by the nuclear overhang. That calculation, and its dangers, is called the stability-instability paradox, and Kargil was its first real-world test. 88 days, more than 500 Indian soldiers dead, Pakistani casualties that are still not fully known, a civilian government overthrown, and the world holding its breath, hoping two nuclear neighbors would pull back from the edge. They did. Barely. You are watching War and Military History, where every conflict has a cause, every border has a cost, and every war leaves something behind. Subscribe and stay with us, because history is never truly over.